Hello, everyone. I'm going to be in Proverbs. I did the first chapter. I'm going to be in the second chapter of Proverbs. Someone said I think that they would like for me to do that, so I'm going to do all I can to help everybody I can. So it says Proverbs 2, 1 through, we're going to go the whole 22 verses, but 1 through 5 says, My son, if thou wilt receive my words, hide my commandments with thee, so thou shalt incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thy heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her, knowledge, commandments, his wisdom, if thou seekest for her silver, and searchest for her as for treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and shalt find the knowledge of God. Oh, how great that would be! That's what I want to do. We should read, and I said in the last one, I think that maybe before we start trying to learn the Old Testament, which is really, really good, we should try to learn the Psalms and Proverbs and the New Testament first. That's what I did, and then I went to the Old Testament, and that's where I go a lot of times today. We should spend a lot of time trying to use our mind and get an understanding of His will and His commandments. Because whatever I own, whatever I might possess, whatever I might be, without Him, I'm nothing. And He said, For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of His mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. A lot of times, wisdom don't come with a band to a great fanfare. It just comes real gentle, and maybe the person that's been after it don't realize exactly when all of it come about, if he's got any, and the people that's the other people, they will wonder, like Jesus, where did he get all that wisdom or whatever. He layeth that sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler of them that walk upright. I want to do what God wants me to do, when He wants me to do it. I feel better about myself when I think that I am doing His will. And He says, He leadeth, keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the way of His saints. Isn't that a great promise? Learning to trust in the Lord, in God, for things that we need is one of the greatest things that we can accomplish, I think. Then thou shalt understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. I want the Lord to remind me. I want to be reminded to spend time with God every day. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant to thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee. Some situations call for a good mind, a logical mind, but sometimes it calls for a gut feeling, if you will. It comes from our heart and not from our mind, and we need to get God to help us to have that kind of understanding that goes to the heart and not just to the mind. To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, who leaves the paths of righteousness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the forwardness of the wicked. We're never out of His sight. We never go too far that we can be out of His sight. For God will deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the God of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. Prayer, we don't need to neglect prayer. It's our connection with God. And He can speak to us like a GPS system. He can speak to us to know for us to know which way to turn. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither they take hold of the paths of life. I never want to be without you in my life, Lord. I've tried that. It didn't work for me. I'm just happier when I'm in the presence of Jesus. That thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of righteousness. Have you ever seen little children that was good when their mother was watching them? Boy, they was just perfect. But once they got outside of mother's sight, they was something else, and it would take a little bit for the mother to catch them in their acts, and we're like that with God. When we think that we're outside of His sight, we may act a little different. We think maybe that He doesn't know that we've misbehaved, but I'll assure you He does. He knows every time that we use charity in our life and every time that we don't. And verse 21 of Proverbs 2 says, "For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the people shall remain." I heard a story that said his grandmother had a special box that she kept all her prized possessions in. And he said, I used to sit with her at the kitchen table. She would unwrap her treasures. There were old pictures, coins, gems, a lock of hair, a ribbon from a long past contest, a pair of old glasses, a hand-carved spinning top, and a dozen other knickknacks. My grandmother would tell the story of each and every one, and the love and affection she shared with those members will stay with me all of my life. God's kind of like that, don't you think? We're His treasures, and He's got us set aside, and He knows each one of us. There's a story behind each one of us. I've got my story, but I don't ever want to forget that you've got your story, and your story is just as important as mine. I thank the Lord that I might think that I might be among His prized possessions. But the wicked should be cut off from the earth, and transgressors should be rooted out. Because the judgment doesn't come speedily, we think that people's going, how they get away with that? My wife asked me once, how are they getting away with that? And my answer to her was, they're not getting away with anything. You're not getting away with anything, and I'm not getting away with anything. It hurts me when I see people doing things that are hurtful to other people or whatever. But it's all going to be taken into consideration, and God is going to sort it out, and He's going to do the right thing. When you get that in your mind, when I can keep that in my mind, that God is going to sort everything out at the end, nobody's getting away with anything. It may seem like they do. They may go a long time and nothing happen. But I'll assure you that behind the scenes, when you don't even know about it, God is taking His actions for them. So often it seems like that instead of the meek inheriting the earth, that it would be the wicked instead. Justice is God's responsibility. Ours to do the things that we know that's pleasing to God and avoid doing the thing He dislikes. And one of those would be judging our neighbor. My dad, he died, and as far as I know, he did not have salvation, and it hurts. But the thing that helped me the most was knowing that God was going to sort it out the way it needed to be. I might not know how it needed to be sorted out, but God certainly did. And He said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Those mansions belong to God, and He could give them to anyone that He chooses. He doesn't have to ask me. He doesn't have to ask you. He can give them to whomever He chooses to, and it's fine with me. He can withhold them from whoever He wants to. And I'm glad that he's the one. I don't want to judge anybody. And in a sense, I don't even want to judge myself in the final stages, because God's going to take care of that. I've done things and done them the best I could. And I didn't think I had a high enough score. But God was checking every box. He knew everything that happened. Excuse me. So I've enjoyed getting this to you. The reason I tried to get it to you is because I love you. I'm not trying to replace your ministry. I'm not trying to replace you getting to church. But there may be somebody out there that can't get to church. There's somebody that's sick. Somebody's in a nursing home or a rehab or hospital or sick in bed at home. And for those, I'm trying to get something out here during this coronavirus the best I can. So may God bless you is my prayer. My phone number is 256-508-4410. And if you don't get me, leave me a message and let me know what's on your mind. I think that I have maybe got some calls that I wondered if they wasn't from some of you out here watching the video, but I didn't know their number and they didn't say anything. So please, if you would, say something and let me know, and I'll try to get back with you. So until we do this the next time, may God bless you.